some disappointing news. I think that is the best way to approach this entire topic in regards to The Last of Us Season 3. Mostly because, well, for one, okay, as the rest of the headline outlines, okay, the Season 3 release date. So on one hand, it's going to take a while, mostly because production isn't exactly steamrolling forward after that catastrophic second season. It's interesting because over the past little while, I've been trying to stay, this is going to sound weird and contradictory, but just follow me for a second. I've been trying to stay off of social media, mostly because I just found it to be incredibly vapid over the past couple of months, but I'm seeing a lot of people, a lot of reviewers come forward and go, oh guys, you know, the catastrophe that was Season 2 of The Last of Us, I mean, it was either preventable, unavoidable, or it was just even worse than you anticipated. It's just the same, you know, bunch of clickbait that's out there. But honestly, nobody defends us, okay? It was bad at the time. The viewing figures have absolutely tanked. Nobody's really looking forward to the third season, which, okay, if you knew anything about the source material, why would anybody be looking forward to the second season? And given that incredibly long gap between releases, what were we looking at? 2 years at that point? Just about, 2-3 years at that point. It's like, that's just way too long. This was the perfect storm of absolute failures coming out of Hollywood, so we all knew that Season 2 was going to suck if it was going to stick closely to the source material that is The Last of Us Part 2. And well, lo and behold, what is widely regarded as the most faithful video game adaptation so far in live action ended up sticking true to that ethos, and well, they paid the price for it. Cost them a sizable chunk of their audience, and it cost them a showrunner, one of which is a little bit more forgivable than the other, but long story short, good news is it's going to be a minute before Season 3 comes out. The bad news is, well, it is coming out, but also it's falling in with another terrible Hollywood trapping, but let's take a look at this. Talking about the production side of things, no seasons were shot back-to-back, and this is going to lurch into a traditionally massive gap between seasons, like we unfortunately see with so many big shows nowadays. Now, it's especially bad for The Last of Us for a few reasons. Right now, we have zero idea when The Last of Us Season 3 will even start filming after the 2025 season finale. This likely will not be until next year, as the show's lead actor, Bella Ramsey, barely understands the scope of their role in Season 3, because if you know anything about the source material, Season 3 is supposed to be all about Abby. Cool. Great creative decision there, Neil in the game, and then Craig for the show. I haven't seen any scripts, but yes, I do expect that. I think that I'm gonna be there, but not a whole bunch. We've had conversations about that. I sort of have a rough idea of what it's gonna be, but I actually can't tell you. Oh, does that also sound like you don't have a completed script? Sure as fuck does. Again, yes, if you haven't given your head any script yet, exactly, though Ramsey will not be leading Season 3. That will be Caitlin Devers Abby rather. That is, and not a very promising for a timely filming and release schedule for Season 3. So our best estimates in the gap between Seasons 1 and 2. The Last of Us Season 1 was released, it was January 2023. I was thinking it was either 22 or 23, but yes, 23. Season 2 was April of this year, so that's a 28-month gap between seasons, meaning that if it follows something similar, you're looking at this time next year. And oh wait, if you're pissed off by the cliffhanger, legitimately a cut to black cliffhanger that Season 2 was, Craig Mazin says that they do have a fourth season, which is, it's so wild, right? Like, you just steamroll through all of the really great content that you could have adapted for the first game, and just put that in one season, and then you want to stretch out a game that nobody likes or defends for the second season. I mean, that's interesting, but also, you don't have a script, you don't know when you're going to be going into production, your lead actress doesn't even have a clue about what to expect, but she knows enough to continue to run her mouth and do the thing that nobody has ever shown to be a winning strategy. Bella Ramsey tells Last of Us haters, you don't have to watch Season 3. Oh no, she's doing the thing. If you don't like the movie, or if you don't like our movie, don't watch it. If you don't like our show, if you don't like the direction that we're taking it, you don't have to watch it. It worked out exceptionally well for Doctor Who, worked out well for Marvel, worked out well for, well, really, can you point to any example where this has been a winning strategy? If you hate it that much, the game exists. Oh, don't worry, because if you hate the show, you'll hate the game even more. You can just play it again. Oh, no, nobody played the game to begin with. Remember when, God, The Last of Us Part 2 came out prior to all of the remasters. Naughty Dog, oh my God, they were out there saying, oh, look at how many copies of this game we shipped back in 2020, and then followed it up with, let me just just check. Oh, right, 0 sales updates in the following weeks, months, and years. But hey, whenever you look at when a remake or a remaster is put on Steam or PlayStation, you can just see how well it performs in the sales charts. I'm obviously being sarcastic. Last of Us Season 2 chronicled the events of the video game sequel, Last of Us Part 2, which had its own share of outspoken haters. Yeah, it's so funny how those same haters, or at least that same mentality, manifest in the audience for your show over several of the other key plot points. Interesting how that works. Both the show and the video game received backlash for the brutal murder of a lead character, Joel. Not just for the murder, just how stupid it was, and how Joel actually made even more of a cuck of himself in the show as opposed to the game, because he was just mentally retarded, almost like he had his head caved in with a golf club prior to it happening. In the way that he was out there, just giving information, private information to nobody that he knew, is just like, what the fuck are you doing? A hardened survivor just out there going, hey, have you met myself? My name's Joel Miller, and that's my brother Tommy Miller, and we have a place back there in Jackson. Y'all can come on down. You act like you know us. What are you doing? What's with all these funny looks? Meanwhile, Pedro Pascal just, cucks his way through his, dying breaths and not defending himself at all and just letting Abby monologue. Pick your poison as to what's worse. But no, it's just all about, killing off the main character by new antagonist Abby. Yes, the new antagonist you can follow for the 3rd season. Early in the story, in the portrayal of Ellie's same-sex relationship with Dina. Bro, nobody actually cares about that stuff. It's just Dina's a really trash character with no characterization. Big shock. Online trolls review bombed season 2. Right. The entire audience that either tuned out, or even if they decided to give a review, would actually give you points as to why all of that shit sucked ass, even in the confines of the story and the characters that were presented in the show, as opposed to what they played in the games all these years gone by, and posted homophobic comments on social media. Oh no, show us one. When asked about the louder critics of the season, Ramsey said on the Awardist podcast that they tried to steer clear as much as I could, because there's nothing I can do about it anyways. The show is out. There's nothing that can be changed or altered, so I'm like, there's not really a point in reading or looking at anything. People are, of course, entitled to their own opinions, but it doesn't affect the show. It doesn't affect how the show continues or anything in any way. Interesting. The fact that this isn't immediately getting put into production for the 3rd season kind of lets me know, and also a showrunner leaving a project that he considers his magnum opus, and Neil Druckmann kind of lets me know that at least the studios, they're paying attention to the public response. They're looking at those viewing figures and going, what the fuck? So yeah, you might not pay attention, but other people are, and it is affecting the show. They're very separate things to me, so no, I don't really engage. Ramsey also told haters that they can skip the upcoming season 3. Was that just one of those things where you just want to stick it to the studio because you don't know how much of it you're going to be in? You don't have to watch it if you hate it that much. The game exists and you can play the game again, I guess. If you don't want to watch it, if you do want to watch it, I hope you enjoy it. Like the first half of The Last of Us 2 video game, season 2 ended on a cliffhanger. Yeah, and then immediately put you in the shoes of Abby, the wannabe man mountain that caved in Joel's head a couple of hours ago prior to all of the inane babble you and Dina would engage in on horseback that just absolutely drug you through this misery simulator. Then all of a sudden, yes, you can go out there and play Abby Thunderguns when she punches clickers to death. God, just some of the dumbest shit imaginable. But hey, at least Craig Mazin, okay, he's excited for, season 2 and the upcoming star for, season 3 and Caitlin Dever. I can't believe that they let us structure the series in this way, meaning like we just ended season 2 and season 3 is going to be starting, spoiler alert, or starring, yes, Caitlin. But yeah, man, Ramsey is going to be up for Best Lead Actress in a Drama next month's Emmy Awards, or I guess that would be this month's Emmy Awards. Is it in September? I don't know. I don't care. The Emmys are a joke, but not as big of a joke as The Last of Us. You don't have a script, you don't have an audience, and now you're just telling the people that are interested in the show to not fucking watch it if they didn't like season 2. Good strategy. I bet it's gonna work out for you. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo, and should follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.